and welcome back. We are here with Beth Spurgeon, the ESG Director for Purpose and Inclusion at PwC. Welcome.
Thank you. It's great
So,
to be here.
yeah, we're great to have you. So, let's start out. What are the most innovative goals slash initiatives, however you like to hear it, PwC is working on?
Well, of course, we're really proud of our net zero 2030 science-based goal.
Oh, yeah.
But, as we've heard a lot about in this conference, and I think it's really important to reiterate, is the importance of the E with the S. And so we're extremely proud of our DEI goals that we believe also fuels and are an important complement to that net zero goal. And we're approaching that from both an internal and an external perspective. So from an internal perspective, we have ambitions, aspirations when it comes to, for example, a 50% increase in Latinx and Black employees by FY26, as well as an increase in our partnership pipeline of women and diverse individuals by 50% by FY26. But externally, of course, incredibly important as well. It's not just about PwC. And so we have a program, just as an example, called Access Your Potential, where we're investing $125 million into equitable access for Black and Latinx college students. With that, we're hoping to reach 25,000 students by FY26 as well. So really important on both sides for us.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
And
really.
what are some of the challenges that you've had to achieving these goals?
Well, that's an
Probably
easy
none,
question.
right?
No, none at all.
Next question.
Done. There's so many challenges associated with all of our goals that we're working on. And one of the things that I reiterate, knowing that a lot of the people who are watching online today and that are a part of Green Biz is we're practitioners, right? And with that, I think is the dual issue of the huge challenge of the enormity of what we're facing. This is life-changing for us on this globe as people, etc. But also we're in this daily grind where at the exact same time, those big goals sometimes feel like you're not even moving the needle because it's just small step after small step or one step forward and two steps back.
Yeah, definitely know how that goes. You all been at PwC have been doing this for a long time. What kind of advice would you give companies first embarking on their ESG strategies? Where do they start?
I would first make the joke about, make sure that your ESG professionals have great career coaching, wellness, health programs, etc.
Yeah.
For us, when we're embarking upon this and, you're thinking about such big but small steps into these goals, one of the things that I think is critically important is just the table stakes, right? It's having trust with your stakeholders, it's transparent reporting. For us, it's about working with our practitioners across the world and companies to move the needle. But I think what's actually also incredibly important, and the advice that I would give to anyone embarking or even further along in the journey, is when we're working on these huge goals, make sure that you're actually looking at the progress you're making and say when it isn't working, it's not working. Don't be afraid to say, we've got to adjust course. We're not dedicated to this one way of doing things, especially in a quickly changing environment. We know ESG is changing. We know the regulatory environment is changing, and we're dealing with really tough issues. And at the end of the day, I think that our job is more about being innovators than just about anything else.
Yeah, I mean, we heard that on the main stage today, right? About how sometimes you just need to start over.
Absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with that.
I would definitely know that. Started over quite a few times. The aesthetic of my apartment can attest to that. All right, so one last question and then we'll let you go.
Absolutely.
So how are PwC's client-facing teams preparing the market and their clients for the release of the SEC's ESG disclosures? I mean, they're updating them. We're waiting with bated breath. How are you guys prepping for that?
Absolutely. Well, and not only is it the SEC GHG disclosures, and it's a mouthful, but we're also now anticipating the human capital disclosures as well. So there's a lot coming down the pike. And I think what's also really important for all of our practitioners out there and everyone in the market to think about is that, with PwC, we're holistic. We're able to provide an interdisciplinary approach and really, look at a company and think about the different ways that they're approaching everything going on in their company and help them to prepare. But at the end of the day, investors want investor grade data now. Yeah. It doesn't matter that these things are coming down the pipe. I mean, it does, but we need to really hit people where they are now. And people are looking for this data and information immediately. And so what it is about, it's about getting your controls in place, investor grade data and tech enabled data in place now so that you are prepared as future regulations come.
Awesome. Well, I think we're just about out of time. Beth, thank you so much for joining us at Sidebar 23. Enjoy the rest of your green biz experience.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a great one.